What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. It's at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Bridge Burning Amnesia. You know, sometimes people cross people and they've been taught bad habits, and some things may be forgivable, some things may be unforgivable, but it's the process that I'm talking about. Like, you got people who are young, you know, who make a choice to be grimy. And when they're grimy, at a certain age, you got to make that decision. So if you make that choice and it's a mistake, you're going to find yourself in that space where now you got to see if it's a path you're going to actually take, or is it just a mistake? And what happens is you put to the test by you cross a person because you're being grimy, and then you deal with the consequences, or you don't deal with the consequences. But the next time it come around and you're like, you know what, I'm a changed person, I ain't gonna do that no more. And then somebody else believes you, then you cross them. That's when the bridge burning begins. So when you do that, first time is usually the hardest. So here you go. So once you burn that bridge, and then you start forgetting the bridges you burn because you seem to be forgetful about the the consequences people have to face from dealing with you being grimy. So now time passed on, and now those people that used to see you as maybe straight laced now see you as suspect. So now they deal with you differently. And then you say, I said I was gonna change, but I didn't that time. But this time, I'm serious. But see, at that point, people don't trust you, and this time I've changed. So you find yourself in that space where I can't run this game on anybody else. And this is where, bridge burners, habitual line steppers, stuff like that. This is when that community you start finding out that there's a community of people like that, because for the most part, you burned all your bridges with the people who were probably just straight up with you. So now you you in that group. Now the problem with the amnesia is people begin to treat you like they know you're gonna have amnesia, and ain't no getting away from that. So when you're in a community of habitual line steppers, they look at the selective memory or amnesia or the games as mandatory. These are things that are gonna happen. So now, what do? They let you know once you cross these lines, once you burn this bridge, there are going to be repercussions, whether they're immediately or in due time, but you're gonna pay for that. Now, some people be like, some people who are silly, like, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Like I said, they silly, you know. Then they find themselves in those situations where they want help, they need help, or bail me out, you know. And people are like, look, man, you done burnt all your bridges, you on your own. Now, the other bridge burners are the type of people who sabotage us, you know. Somebody who might purposely or unintentionally have a habit of um, throwing a monkey wrench in your plans. When it's intentional, you know the bridge is burned. If you find out it's intentional, because what's gonna wind up happening is you're gonna realize that that person who is normally in that scenario closest to you doesn't want you to succeed to the point where they are in your closest circle because they want to make sure you don't go any further than you're going. Now, the people who are unintentional bridge burners, you know, I think they're a little more difficult because you could say they did it on purpose, but at the same time, you could say they're just stupid. Because some people try to help you so much that they hurt you at every turn, and they don't look at it like that. It's kind of like um, if two people are having a conversation and there's a third party, and the third party winds up instigating the fight, you know, and the conversation was going well until the third party just had to just yada yada yada, and you know a problem ensued that wasn't even there at first. That's unintentional. But they, like I said, they would. Some people you could say they did it on purpose. Other people you'd be like, why did you even you created a situation that it didn't exist because you thought something was going to exist. Kind of manifested a situation that unnecessarily. That's the problem with bridge burner amnesia. Because when you do this stuff, you forget that you do it. And you wind up repeatedly doing it over and over and over again. And, you know, the thing about it would be selective amnesia because you just don't remember. And when you have a habit of not remembering the things you did that are detrimental to other people, no matter how you slice it, people are going to look at you like you just have a selective memory. So now what's going to happen is they're going to just distance themselves from you totally because you're never going to take responsibility for your actions because you either forgot, purposely forgot, or acted like you forgot because you don't want to deal with the accountability or of atoning the situation. You just want to move on. And the problem with when you move on, you burn a bridge, you move on. You burn another bridge, you move on. You're gonna find yourself. It's not the bridges that you burnt. The people that you burnt probably gonna be happy that you're gone over time. But you've also put yourself in a little town where only you can be. Because to go back to where you were, you have to rebuild that bridge. And you might be on the other end of them burning it down like, no, don't even come back over here. It's burnt. You can build half. I swear to God, if you build the other half, I'm burning that shit down. Which creates a problem. Because now your forgetfulness of the things that you did, you got to understand that people had to live with that. People had to take those losses and strive on. You know, people had to you know, deal with the unfairness of it while you just moved on to the next. Now, the minute they get on their feet, they don't need you coming back to try to do it again, because if you have that amnesia, it's just part of the thing. That's just part of your routine. You know, a leopard never changes its spots. A rattlesnake is going to bite, that type of thing. So we out.